I know I'm an insignificant part of this big universe, but then again, I am the whole thing.
To the modern mind, that statement sounds impossible. We were raised on strict materialism. Since Galileo, we've been taught that if you can't weigh it, measure it, or put it under a microscope, it isn't real. But what if our instruments are only measuring the surface of reality? In this session, Stanislav Grof introduces the holographic model of consciousness, where the smallest inner experience can contain the information of the entire cosmos.
This seems like a weird statement if you have a materialistic worldview. Like, are you part of the universe or are you the whole thing? You have to make a decision. You have Aristotelian logic. You cannot be the part and the whole at the same time. You have to make a decision. Now, we didn't understand this until optical holography came into the picture. When in optical hologram, each part of the hologram can contain the information about the whole. Now, if you do this inner work with the holotropic states, you find out that you can actually, in principle, in potentiality, you can become anything. You can have experiential identification with other people. You can experience yourself as animals, even plants, and so on. You can discover the universe in two different ways. One is through the physical senses and analyzing and synthesizing the information, or you can go inside, and that at a certain point, from the intrapsychic exploration, it just goes out, and you're experiencing the world and out there, actually, by being able to become everything that is part of creation. Even if, obviously, none of us can experience everything, but we have, in principle, the potential to experientially identify with anything that's part of creation, including the deities, the archetypal beings, and so on. So it offers a radically different way of getting to know the universe. One is by going out and with the senses and analyzing it, and the other one is going inside and experientially identifying, becoming other people, becoming other things, and you learn through becoming them. Now, the hologram is fantastic. It's a fantastic model for mystical experiences that helps us understand a lot about mysticism. The mystics say things like, I know I'm an insignificant part of this big universe, but then again, I am the whole thing. Doesn't make sense, yeah? But if you understand what it means, I am an insignificant part of the universe in terms of what I can measure and weigh. The mass of the universe and the size of the universe, and here am I, an insignificant part. But I'm the whole thing in terms of that I can experience myself as anything that is part of the universe. I have that potential. And the Western science is interested, since Galileo, only in what you can measure and what you can weigh. And, most of the things that make our life meaningful are things that you cannot weigh and measure. But if I say I am a whole universe, I talk about information. I can get the information about the whole universe. It doesn't mean that I'm physically the whole universe. Yeah, I can have the experience of becoming an elephant. That doesn't mean if you put me on scales that you're going to have 3 tons. It's going to be significant, but not 3 tons, Okay, so some of the paradoxical statements of mystics relate to information that you can get through experience, yeah? So in this esoteric system, this is not just Tantra, this is also Kabbalah, this is also the Gnostic tradition. As above, so below, as without, so within. This comes as all the way from the so-called Tabula Smaragdina, the Emerald Tablet of Hermes Trismegistus, yeah? Yeah, and I already mentioned that according to Tantra, the universe is not just the material universe that we experience in the ordinary state. It has also this normally invisible dimension where you have to go into a special state of consciousness to even become aware of the fact that that dimension exists. Okay. And for people who are on the spiritual journey, that can become actually, in a certain sense, more important than what you experience in everyday life. But you really will not understand the universe by being focused only on the material things that you can measure and weigh. You will be missing some very significant element, which is the which is the transcendental wisdom, the Prajna Paramita. So you can have science that's going to send spaceships to the moon and have linear accelerators and God knows what, and it's naive if it does not sort of recognize this really the part of the universe that you need to full understanding. If you ignore that or even deny that it exists, you are very naive. So it's really important. You have to live in such a way that you involve some kind of an inner self-exploration, so you discover the normally invisible dimension of humanity that should be, of reality that should be very significant part of your life. We find this in Jung, actually. He said that you cannot live fully if you focus only what's out there. You have to spend some time in some kind of focused self-exploration. When you start tapping the intelligence of the collective unconscious and so on, and then you live your life in such a way that you try to synthesize what's happening out there and what you are experiencing from within.